and welcome to the 6th annual Technovation World Pitch Competition. Thank you all so much for being here tonight. For those of you who may not be aware, Technovation is a global technology entrepreneurship competition for girls. Through the competition, more than 5,000 girls have developed mobile apps to solve problems in their community and launch startups of their very own. Each year, the top 10 finalists fly to Silicon Valley to pitch to a panel of judges for $20,000 in seed funding. And that's why we're here tonight. Woo. This year, we have finalists from Brazil, Mexico, India, Nigeria, and the United States. Woo. We could not be more proud of these finalist teams and all of the Technovation participants in the 2015 season for developing some absolutely amazing apps that are making a huge impact on their communities and the world around them.
It is such an honor to be here this evening. I feel like I'm here amongst friends. There are so many people in this community that come together to support women and girls initiatives, and it's nice to see so many familiar faces. So thank you for that. Tonight is really about the girls. Where are you? Are you right here? Yes? Raise your hands. Okay, great. So I'm going to be, for the most part, facing you, because a lot of what I have to say tonight is in honor of your achievement. Tonight is the night. We are here to hear your pitches, and we are so excited. So I think the first thing I want to say is congratulations. You have made it here. And I think everybody here knows how much work goes into you being here. Did you all start working on your projects around, was it January, February, right? And I was looking through the curriculum, and I was really excited about what you were learning about branding, financial models. I have these listed because clearly I don't know what they are. User-centered design, competitive analysis, and then of course the pitch. So already just having done all of that in 3 months is so impressive. And I think the important thing to note is that no matter what happens, clearly you have been set up for success having that background and knowledge and working to get here. So I think today I was asked to talk a little bit about amplifying your impact. And I feel like you're already doing it. And that is really impressive. I had the opportunity to meet several of you as I was going around the tables, and I was able to watch your videos. And originally when I was asked to speak, I was going to talk about, something about like making a difference. But the reality is you're making a difference, and that is impressive. So that is already a very, whether it's something about, helping your friends drive safe, or it's about, doing something about taking care of your waste and disposing of that most efficiently, if it's about being healthy and incorporating healthy lifestyle opportunities into your life, you're already doing that. So that's really important. And I think your apps are addressing issues that are real and that are relevant. So that's part of what tonight's about. It's not about winning a competition, because I think it's obvious each one of you is already a winner. You've already brainstormed creative, innovative solutions to, I think, one of some of our generation's biggest challenges. And beyond that, tonight is actually about saying thank you. Thank you for taking the time. Thank you for spending your free time when you were, could have been hanging out with your friends or going shopping or doing whatever, and coming together to brainstorm what the community could benefit from. And also, thank you for getting up. I know you guys are going to stand up here in a little bit, and that takes a lot of courage. Some of you are going to pitch in your second language. English is not your first language. And that says a lot, to come up here in front of all of us and be so brave and courageous and share what you've come up with is really impressive. So thank you for doing that. So I want to kind of go into a little bit about, we're celebrating you, we're thanking you. And I think a part of what I want to do is also talk a little bit about, give some words of wisdom. And I can't often do that. But in this group, I think if I could go back 20 years, I would be able to tell myself a couple of things. So I thought I'd take advantage of having the stage right now and share with you what I would think about if I was talking to myself 20 years ago. Okay, so the first thing I saw as I was following the Technovation events online was this hashtag that was used, smart is beautiful. You guys have been using that. I love it. I think the first thing to remember is you are beautiful. And, when I was such a nerd growing up. I was, and let me tell you, I had really, really curly hair and it went sideways. And I started wearing glasses when I was in kindergarten. I was super short. I mean, I just would always look at myself and just say, well, gosh, I'm like, I'm not cool. I'm so not cool. I want to be cool. But I was cool. I had friends. I, had such a good time. I was smart. I played the piano. I had all of these things. And it took me a long time to appreciate that and to own that about myself. So if I could go back 20 years, I would tell myself to stop criticizing myself so much when I was 14. Which brings me to my next point, which is, it's really important to find a passion that you truly enjoy. And I think, we talk a lot about asking ourselves, make sure you find something that you like. Actually, I would recommend you find what makes you mad. Find the things that you want to change. If you could talk to, let's say President Obama, you have 1 minute with him. What do you want to talk to him about? Whatever that topic is, that's the one to follow. That's what you'd be passionate about. I would say also find your inner warrior. I think today is International Yoga Day. So in reference to that, life has its ups and downs, and we all know that. You've already experienced them. I would say to just accept that that is part of life, and as you're going through those moments, especially the downs, just know they're going to get better. Those moments shape who we are. Those moments, as you get older, as you become closer to my age, those are the moments that essentially give you the strength and courage and shape everything that you'll be and allow you to be that awesome, courageous woman as an adult. So don't lose hope and keep going. 2 more things. One, the first thing is listen to your gut. I think especially at your age, everybody has an opinion and they all want to share it with you. Oh, where are you going to school? Or, oh, what are you going to study? What are you majoring in? What are you doing this project on? Blah, 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 all the time. And that's actually really helpful. It's not to say that that advice is not one that should be listened to because it's good advice, but listen to your gut because at the end of the day, you're shaping your own path. And that's something to not doubt. You know what's best for you, and ultimately, it's your future. So listen to your gut. Okay, and then the 5th point is enjoy the ride. Take time to slow down, to appreciate these moments. You've made it here. You're in San Francisco. Take the time to just enjoy it because it goes by really fast. I think those of you who are over 25 in this room could probably agree with that, right? Like, it just goes by really fast. And all of a sudden, we look back and we're like, I remember when I was 15, like, how am I not that anymore? So just try and enjoy these awesome moments. Whatever happens at the end of these pitches, you are here, and that's amazing. So with that, let me just close by saying that you are extraordinary and you can do anything. And I would encourage you that when this event is over and you go back home, I would say, don't let it stop. Continue what you're doing. Continue the work that you're doing. I think you are in a position to be role models to so many other girls. Inspire them. If there is one thing I could challenge you with is bring a girl, encourage them to do this challenge next year. So I think this is only the beginning. The future is very bright for all of us in the room because of the amazing work that you are doing. Congratulations and good luck on your pitches.
Now for the moment we've all been waiting for, the pitch competition. Woo! We'll start with the 4 middle school teams, and then we'll move to the 6 high school teams.
My name is Lydia. This is Riley and Andrea. Our project name is Mayo Free Time. Each year, 1.5 million patients, not counting those who accompany them, come to the Mayo Clinic in Rochester. From our survey, we found that 95% of them have free time in between their appointments and have smartphones. But they also do not know what is available to do around them. The goal of our app, Mayo Free Time, is to give them assistance so that they can use their time wisely in between their appointments and have reduced stress, anxiety, loneliness, boredom, or sadness. Our app helps over patients from 143 countries around the world.
But there's a problem. When patients are referred to the Mayo Clinic, they feel stressed. You can see anxiety on their faces. Seeing them in wheelchairs with oxygen tanks or face masks is heartbreaking. Some come to the clinic alone and are scared and lonely. But on top of all that, they get lost trying to find where their next building is for their appointment. Boredom and blues set in as they are stuck in waiting rooms for hours pondering their illness. They don't know what to do or where to go for a good meal, and some of them don't have a way to connect with anyone else who is dealing with the same sort of thing that they are.
Hey guys, do you know about the app called Mayo Free Time? It has the what's, where's, and how's of the Rochester area, and it's so easy and efficient to use, and you can carry it with you all on your phone. Look at all the things you can do. Shopping at nearby malls, enjoying art galleries, and here it says laugh until you cry at a comedy club. And here's a list of music performances. This one says you can even sing along.
Does it have anything for recreation?
For recreation, it shows the YMCA, places to get exercise by walking indoors, or here it even shows you to take a walk along the lake. There's also fishing. Maybe we could go fishing and tell her the big one that got away story when we got home.
What about eating? I'm always hungry.
For their dining, there's a lot of restaurants and coffee shops and they even list some with special dietary needs like gluten-free choices. Of course, like all the other activities, it tells you how far it is from where you are and how long it will take you to get there by walking, bus, or driving. They even have a chat room where you can go and strike up a conversation with someone who's at the Mayo Clinic. Maybe they know what you're going through, and maybe you'll gain a new friend.
Well, those things are really helpful, but what about all the times I get lost trying to find where my building is for my appointment?
No problem. The map shows and tells you where you are in the Mayo Clinic campus and where you are in the Rochester area. The map shows, it also gives walking, driving, and bus directions around the Rochester area. Cool, look at this. It even tells you how long it will take you to get there from your current location.
That app is for me.
Right, no more wasting time sitting in dull waiting rooms or hotel rooms just thinking about your illness. I'm going to use that Mayo Free Time to make sure I use my time wisely and find things to do in the amount of time I have. And it can't help but make me feel less stressed.
I bet there are a lot of people who really benefit from using that app. It's advertised in a lot of places. I saw a brochure in our hotel lobby, and at breakfast, the person sitting next to us was talking about it. And before we came, we had a look on the Visitors Bureau site, and I had a link there. Also, I was searching on Mayo's on the social media, and I searched Mayo Free Time, and the app came up on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
We all agree. Get the Mayo Free Time app and make your Mayo visit just a little bit better.
How did you think about the design of the user interface? Did you start with storyboards, or how did you put it together so that it made sense and it flowed as nicely as it does?
Well, first we looked at what buttons we wanted, or what things we wanted to include in it. So we decided we'd do activities, chat, and a map. And then at first we had big gray buttons, but they didn't look very good. So we changed it to what our logo looked like, which is white with a blue border with text inside of it. And all of our buttons look like that. And so we set it so that when you click on a button, it takes you to a page there, and then there's a logo on the bottom. And when you click the logo, it takes you back to the menu.
Did you consider adding any other entertainment like games in your app?
Yeah, we did, but we used App Inventor, and you can only put like 10 screens on there, so we maxed out on screens. So so in the future we want to add more screens, so we could add something in the mall, or maybe we could add beauty or something like that.
How do you plan to get patients to use your app?
Well, it's promoted on Mayo's website, which is called like In the Loop, and they have an article about it. Also, Mayo is supporting us, and we have a meeting after we are done with this, and we have little like booklets to give them, and so that they can look at them. So we're gonna hopefully, yeah.
So given that you will essentially be driving folks to local businesses, how do you see that you could, develop a relationship with the local businesses that might drive some additional revenue to your organization?
Okay, so we'll probably go there and advertise our app and talk to them about it and tell them our story. And hopefully we'll get some support from Mayo for that too. But we can also show them that patients come to their restaurant anyways, and we can probably get them more business if we put this on our app, because there'd be a lot of users, hopefully, on our app that are from the Mayo Clinic. And if their business is by the Mayo Clinic, then it'd be a targeted spot where a lot of patients would go.
Hi, we are SAFFRON from Mexico, and our app is Healthy Life. My name is Sofia, and I will tell you a story of Katy. Katy is a girl of 14 years old living in Mexico. She has never played sport, and she loves sleep, watch TV, play video games, and eat whatever is junk food. Her classmates tease her about her weight, and always she looks in the mirror, she's not happy with her body. She follows diets of internet, but it's physically demanding for her. And she is overweight as another 4.1 million teenagers in our country. Mexico is ranked at first place on obesity in children and teenagers.
My name is Paola, and I will talk about the solution. In this example, with Katy, she could download our app, log in and create her profile, which will be stored on the phone. And here friends and siblings can create their own profiles. Katy can click on one of the main 8 groups of muscles to see examples of the exercises. In the next screen, she will get a short explanation of how to do them step by step to avoid injuries. Katy can also have a timer to have control and focus on her exercises. Healthy Life has a list with the 5 food groups with examples of portions in each one. Katy can also track the portions that she eats during the day to match the suggested amount.
I am Tati, and I will give you the benefits of this app. The content of Healthy Life has been created with help from health and fitness experts, and the exercise routines and healthy food choices that were designed specifically for us. Our competitive advantage is that we are the only health and fitness app in Mexico designed for teenagers. It can be used everywhere, at home, in the park, with the grandmas. Healthy Life helps you to maintain a healthy weight and have more energy. Also, it contributes to improve grades in school, since a healthy lifestyle improves our ability to focus and concentrate. And what is the best? It is free.
My name is Sofia. Now I want to tell you about our business plan. First, the market for Healthy Life app is for young people from 12 to 19 years old. It's for all who cannot pay for gym or nutritionist and you want to look better. Second, in our commercial strategy, we are going to reach our market by internet, appearing in forums, blogs, social networks, and sites for health. We are offering 2 versions. One is free, another is premium. Both versions have original exercise routines, but the free one has advertising, and if the user does not want it and needs more exercise routines, he or she can pay $1 for a set routine without ads. So, if you cannot pay for gym classes or nutritionists and you want to look better, download Healthy Life and give us a like on Facebook. Healthy Life!
So the you have in there the exercises you can do. Is that something that you're sourcing from another location? How do you come up with that list, and does that change?
Oh, claro. Esta lista de ejercicios se dio a través de expertos en la salud. Un entrenador personal nos ayudó con estos ejercicios.
A personal gym trainer gave us this list of exercises.
What is your motivation? How are you going to get your users to go from the free version to the premium version?
Bueno, nos estamos anunciando en redes sociales, en sitios en internet, etc. Para esto, les convence la versión gratuita, la free. Entonces, van a querer comprar la premium. ¿Por qué? Porque incluye más rutinas de ejercicios y todo por $1 cada set.
We're making merchandising via social networks, and when they download the free app, they're going to want to buy the premium one because it's only $1 for more exercise routines.
I got to use your app during the showcase, and it's great. And I immediately started to think of more features and more ideas. What would be the first thing you would add, the next feature you would add to your app?
Pues bueno, en la versión premium estamos planeando ponerle el historial a las demás rutinas de ejercicio, y además vamos a ponerle y vamos a ponerle también un recetario con recetas saludables para que la gente se motive y tenga diferentes alternativas para comer.
First, we're going to make it easier for the user to track your goals, and also we're going to make a food recetary with recipes that you can follow.
Thanks. Thank you, Team Saffron. Wonderful.
Good evening. In India, there are chai walas who prepare, sell, and serve tea on the streets. And most of these people come from different parts of the country and run small businesses in major cities. So let's talk about one such tea vendor, Raj. Raj sells tea in small plastic cups to his customers every day. And after drinking this tea, these cups are crushed and thrown on the ground, as usually there are no dustbins. Raj is ignorant of the danger that this could cause, as these cups are non-biodegradable, and also flies and other insects start breeding around this waste. One of the major problems faced by India is the unhygienic and inefficient disposal of waste that has taken a toll on the health of the citizens. In a city like Bangalore, with a population of 10 million, around 1,518 tons of dry waste is generated every day. What about a country with a population of 1.2 billion?
Waste management in developing economies experience exhausted waste collection services and uncontrolled dump sites. Waste management in our city is an ongoing challenge due to chronic under-resourcing, weak institutions, and rapid urbanization. Last year, the Government of India launched the Swachh Bharat Abhiyan that tackles both sanitation and effective waste management. Recycling of the dry waste can contribute to the reduction of the volume of the waste to be dumped. But dry waste dealers in India have to go to so many different houses looking for material to recycle. This is a tiring and time-consuming process. Can their work be made simpler?
Selixo is an Android mobile application which deals with efficient waste management by promoting the commercial recycling of dry waste. It provides a platform to connect the dry waste generators to the buyers. With Selixo, dry waste can now be bought and sold, which would be profitable for both the buyer and the seller. Selixo is designed to be highly intuitive to the user. To sell, the user has to post an advertisement specifying the category and the price of the dry waste. The buyer can view the list of advertisements, select the items to be purchased based on the category of the dry waste, along with the location of the seller.
Now you're probably wondering how much Selixo costs. Selixo plans to use two pricing models for the waste consumers. The first pricing model is the pay-as-you-go model, which will be useful for those who do not transact as often. Here we will charge 1% of every transaction as commission or fees. The second pricing model is the annual subscription model, which will be useful for those who deal with waste on a larger scale. They will have to pay as a nominal subscription fee and will not be charged on every transaction. Selexo plans to be absolutely free for the waste producers. Through calculations based on official reports, we could make about $24,200 in our first year. We hope to get a more sizable share of the market in future.
Selexo has a wide market. Apart from dealing with household waste, it also caters to roadside shopkeepers, apartment complexes, and party halls that tend to produce waste in substantial quantity every day. Scrap dealers, recyclers, and municipal organizations will also be profited by Selexo. Selexo is unique in its value proposition. Though there are existing waste management apps, none of them provide a centralized mobile marketplace for waste like Selexo does. Our future plans include an internal chat service between the buyer and seller, a system of loyalty points for frequent use, and user ratings. We plan to scale out by adding new categories of dry waste, new producer and consumer segments, and sorting ads by location, rating, and price.
So go ahead and download our app from the Google Play Store. Like us on Facebook,
follow us on Twitter,
and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Selexo, why trash it when you can cash it?
So how did you think about testing your app so that it was bug-free? What was your strategy to do that?
Usually when sellers, if I was a person who wants to buy an app, we wouldn't pay for it. Like it has to be free.
So we actually gave it out to like apartment associations which we stay in. We actually gave it out to them. We asked them to test it for us, and we got pretty positive reviews. And we also interviewed a few scrap paper dealers, and they seemed very excited by the prospect of this idea.
So if I caught you correctly, you mentioned that there is no cost for the producers of waste. Doesn't that just encourage people to produce more waste? What was your thought beyond?
No. Here the producers will be the common people like us. Normal people like us, we don't like to buy apps from the Play Store usually. So we plan to keep it as a promotional feature. We plan to keep it free for the waste producers right now. And since the consumers, they make a living out of selling this waste, we plan to charge them.
And just adding to that, I don't think we'll be promoting them to produce more waste as much as promoting them to actually collect the waste and actually not, dump it or something. Like we're promoting them to collect it, segregate it, and actually sell it.
So our purpose is to make dry waste as a commodity so people don't litter it.
Yeah, along the same lines, I guess my question was, what are you doing, or are you thinking about any features where you actually encourage people to reduce the amount of waste that they create? Are you trying to do behavior change as part of this effort?
So I would like to say that we can't stop people from producing waste, but we can educate them about how to dispose it efficiently. That's what Selexo is all about. So they can collect the waste and dispose it properly. So we plan to educate them in that field.
Good evening, judges and everyone. My name is Emma Yang.
And I'm Natalie Essig.
We are Team AAT from New York City. Before we begin, let me tell you a story. In 2013, Rowan Stringer from Ottawa died of brain swelling after a concussion while playing high school rugby. She was sent to the hospital but died days later from second impact syndrome. It turns out Rowan had a pre-existing injury from 2 previously undetected concussions. Rowan was 17. She had a life ahead of her. If her concussion were identified earlier, she would still be alive today.
Today, concussions are a serious problem in the sports community. There are 22 million children in the U.S. between 6 and 18 who play high-impact team sports. Every year, there are nearly 4 million reported concussions. However, many go unreported. Contrary to popular belief, only 5% of concussions result in loss of consciousness. Not losing consciousness does not mean one did not sustain a concussion. This leads many concussions to go unreported and untreated, and can cause lifelong brain damage and other complications. Today, many parents and coaches also do not realize the risk of keeping an athlete in the game after an impact and do not know about the damage it can do in the long term. The sports community also lacks an easy and readily available tool that can help to detect a concussion early.
Our goal is to develop an app to evaluate concussions in a quick, easy, and efficient way, and to advocate the benefits of early detection of concussions and removal of concussed athletes from play. All of this will help make sports not only fun, but safe. After analyzing our market research, we have created our solution to the problem, Concussion Checker. Concussion Checker is an easy-to-use app that can evaluate concussion symptoms based on the sports concussion assessment tool, save and share evaluation data, and if a concussion is suspected, locate and direct the athlete to the nearest neurologist or medical facility. The app also gives the user the ability to access historical concussion records. This is particularly important as we know an athlete is likely to sustain a second concussion if he or she has sustained one previously. Having the app in your pocket, it only takes 5 minutes to evaluate a possible concussion. These 5 minutes will help prevent serious injury and possibly save lives.
Our target audience is parents and coaches. We target to launch our app to our hometown, New York, first, but our ultimate goal is to make our app accessible to millions of students in the world. We will be promoting our app through word of mouth, social media such as Twitter and Facebook, search engine marketing, and email marketing. We looked at all the apps available in the market for concussions. While all of the apps provide different levels of functionalities, Concussion Checker has the most comprehensive functionalities with best usability.
Our business model is very simple. To ensure that our app is affordable to everyone, we decided to price it at $2.99. We are very happy to let you know that we already have our first customer. Our school has agreed to use our app once it is fully developed. Now let me tell you about the product roadmap. We already have a fully functional prototype. The next step is to use a user-centered design approach to ensure the top-notch usability of our app. The app will be developed in iOS and Android platforms and will have multilingual capabilities, covering both Chinese and Spanish. We have received endorsement from Dr. Andy Jagoda, a world expert on concussions. Dr. Jagoda believes that Concussion Checker has the potential to make a huge impact on our efforts to protect youngsters from the dangers of brain injury. This is our team with Dr. Lieber, who is our mentor and advisor for this project.
The prototype version of Concussion Checker is already live on the Google Play Store. Please download the app onto your Android phone and give us any feedback you have. We created Concussion Checker to make sports not only fun, but safe. Thank you very much for supporting us.
So the actual evaluation that's done in the app, I remember seeing in the demo, there's a lot of different types of tests that you do or someone's evaluating. Where did you get that? Is that from your mentor, or how did you decide on the specific evaluation?
So when we first started this project, we went through our school, and so when we consulted with the athletics director, we saw that the evaluation that's used right now was the sports concussion assessment tool, and so we basically took that and we implemented it into our app, and so that's how we got all the parts.
So, clearly you're passionate about this really important issue, and I'm wondering, have you thought through whether you would do a sort of commercial for-profit model for your business or a nonprofit? Or if you were for profit, would you do something unique or special with your profits to help in this area? Do you have any thoughts around that?
Well, we'd like to call more attention to the risk of keeping an athlete in the game after an impact.
So basically because our ultimate goal is to try and advocate early detection of concussions and using this protocol as early as possible. And so we will be, because right now we have only surveyed a certain population, we will be reaching out to people whose expertise in this area. And so you perhaps will work with communities that may not be as privileged to maybe give them discounts for getting this app to further promote the early detection of concussions. And we will be looking into that.
I have a question about the experience. So after a concussion is suspected, I saw it said you can look for local doctors. Can it connect to your personal doctor?
Yes. So eventually this list of preferred doctors will be customizable to whoever you are. So you can put any of your personal doctors in there. And so through the app, you can contact them. Yes.
So you mentioned you got the checklist from your athletics director. Did you do any research about whether that is the most widely acceptable, or is there a lot of variance in how people actually check for concussions?
Well, there are many different concussion evaluations, but right now the sports concussion assessment tool is one of the most standard and commonly used tool right now.
It's also one of the most easy to understand.
Imagine that it's over 100 degrees and roasting outside. The stifling heat makes an ice cream sandwich sound perfect. You would probably just go to the nearest supermarket and buy the ingredients, but for some people, it's not so simple.
This is Anna. Even though she has enough money in her wallet and there's a supermarket right around the corner, she won't be able to fulfill her craving for ice cream until her caretaker comes home and supervises her trip. This is because Anna has dyscalculia. It's a disorder that makes it so that she doesn't have basic number sense and can't do the arithmetic necessary to make a shopping trip. First off, She doesn't know how much money is in her wallet, and her counting of it would be tedious, time-consuming, and probably unreliable. Even if she did know how much money was in her wallet, by the time she got to the store and filled her cart, she wouldn't know whether or not she had enough money to pay for it all. Lastly, her biggest hurdle would be at the cash register, when she would have to use the appropriate bills and coins to pay. But since she can't count money reliably and accurately, she would be wasting the time of her, the cashier, and the customers behind her.
It's extremely frustrating for her to have to depend on other people for such a seemingly simple task. My cash count is the solution to Anna's problem. Before she leaves for the store, she updates her virtual wallet, which has pictures of all the bills and coins for easy input. While shopping, she adds things to her list, and the app will tell her if she has enough money to buy all the ingredients. When she goes to the cash register to pay, she puts the exact total into the app, which will tell her which bills and coins to use. The app will deduct those bills and coins from her virtual wallet while she pays with them to the cashier out of her physical wallet. The shopping list is also saved in the history so that she can look back on her purchases in the future.
Anna has looked into many other options to try to solve her problem, but up till now, she has only been able to use multiple services and apps in order to just approach the functionality that My Cash Count already includes. Because those apps were not made for Anna's specific purpose, they do not include the features that fulfill all her needs.
Our target market has 5 characteristics. For now, we only include American currency. The only restrictions on the demographic of our market are age and economic class. Obviously, users must own a device. We currently only have an iOS version, and lastly, they have the problem that My Cash Count aims to solve, trouble calculating and keeping track of money. According to a study by neuroscientist Anna Wilson, about 5% of the world's population suffers from dyscalculia.
These 5 characteristics indicate a target market size of 2.7 million. However, this number is an underestimate because, first of all, the statistics we used were for iPhone users, but our app can be used on all iOS devices. In addition, people other than people with the disorder dyscalculia may have trouble counting their money. For example, people with these disorders, but also any small children or possibly elderly people who may want to use the app.
Our main marketing strategy is to partner with organizations and seminars that interest our target market. They will be paid an amount proportional to the number of downloads as a result of promotion on their websites and at their seminars.
Our main expenses are in hiring professionals for marketing, development, and design. The expenses in the first year will be much higher to set up the business. Afterwards, the only task for hired employees will be simple maintenance. Our main source of revenue will be ads, although there is also a $9.99 upgrade available for those who don't want them.
If we receive an initial investment of $10,000, our projected net profit is $18,155. Investors will receive 60% of that, which will result in an ROI of 8.93%.
If we receive funding, we'll be able to help more people like Anna gain their independence and solve their problems. With My Cash Count and your support, Anna will finally be able to eat her delicious ice cream sandwich.
Did you consider using the camera instead of having folks enter the count?
We actually did consider it. We actually saw another product that very, very quickly used the camera to identify bills, and we hope that in the future we can implement a similar feature or possibly even ask them to partner.
Yeah, we would probably ask them because I don't think we're proficient enough in
It was
programming
very
to,
impressive.
Make something like
So on the shopping list that comes up, where does that data come from?
So the user inputs each item, but if they don't want to use a shopping list, that's optional. That's mostly for their reference because at the bottom of the page, it tells you if you have enough money in your wallet, but if they know for sure they have enough money or something, they can go straight to the Pay Now panel and just enter the total there.
Did you do user testing, and what did you learn from that process?
So we gave surveys to people before we made the product, so we could implement the features that they wanted. And since we received our Apple developer count pretty recently, we weren't able to test it on users. We mostly showed them different screenshots of our app, and then we used their feedback and incorporated it to make changes. And we hope that because she's been traveling a lot, we hope that when she comes back, we'll be able to work with people who actually have that problem and then get their feedback.
But we think that it would not be difficult to get testers because my family is friends with a lot of other families that have children with special needs, and this is one of this app would be very helpful to them. So I think they would be very interested.
Hi, good evening. My name is Gabriele.
My name is Leonor.
My name is Samara.
My name is Jacqueline.
And my name is Jacqueline as well.
We are here today to present our project. That's a game called The Last Drop. We came from Brazil and our team is PORTMUND.
When the challenge began, we decided to focus on water waste. About 800 million people around the world suffer with lack of water. 45 million of them are Brazilians, and 70% of the cities in Brazil that have normal water supply consume almost 2 times more water than is recommended by the United Nations. For instance, where I live, me and my family have to deal with this lack of water every 2 days.
After we decided the theme of the project, we had a meeting and based on our previous experience, we chose the visual style and softwares that we would use.
The application focuses on children aged 5 to 12 because we have a social commitment to prepare this new generation so that they not only know what is sustainable development but can effectively make a change. And also because kids tend to put into action what they learn, this can affect their parents and friends.
The game is about a little girl called Victoria. She is watching TV and she sees some news about the water problem. So she decides to help the world by beginning with her neighborhood. In the game, you have to help Victoria help her community. The game's interface is pretty simple. There are 2 arrows that the player uses to walk and the water bar that shows how much water is left in the building. The player can turn off the lights to save energy. He can use the doors to go to other rooms and the elevator to go to other floors. The number of floors raises according to the level of the player. When there's an open sink or bathtub, the water bar decreases faster, so you have to go to the room and close it by pressing the message that shows up when you're next to the appliance. When the player completes all the missions, he passes to the next level.
We went to a nearby school called Luiz Saber to test the game in our target audience. We got a lot of feedback that helped us improve the game. We intended to take this experience to other schools near us to further improve the game.
We have more than 50 million of the students in the region of our 1,000 eldest in rural schools, and the smartphone market is intense and vibrant.
We expect to reach more than 40,000 users studying our city. Is sufficient to generate our future revenue and start expansion plans.
Our mission against the waste started on April, and you can contribute purchasing our game. Later available at the Play Store.
So I'm curious in the like level 6, how is that made more difficult or more complicated for someone who's really been playing a long time?
The number of floors raises according to the level of the player. So as has more floors, there are more missions that you have to complete. And in every level, you have more difficult missions and you have less time as well.
You gotten to that level?
Yeah.
What type of things do you show? So, turning water off is a fairly obvious one, but, how are you helping within the game sort of get to a point where you can get through your daily life, but save water as well with some of the not so obvious solutions?
As the children learn what they are looking at, when the player doesn't close the sinks and completes all the missions, and the water bar ends up, he lost the game. So the child can learn that if she or him do not save the water, one day it will be a problem for him.
Do you expect to give away the app for free, or do you expect to have users pay for subsequent levels?
Now it's free, but we want to put it to $2. But we are looking for partnerships with public and private
organizations, so they can buy it for price little less, like 30 cents. So they can buy it for schools, and that way we would reach more people.
Good evening, San Francisco. Now, many of you may think of India as the land of spices, or maybe the land of yoga, maybe even the land of Bollywood. But unfortunately, there is an aspect of this diversity we all seem to forget about. Our team identified a serious problem in our community with implications worldwide. Now, most of us can only try to imagine what people with disabilities face, especially in developing countries such as India. Out of the 26.8 million people with disabilities, that is 32 times the entire population of San Francisco, 5 million people are educated and employed, and the remaining 9 million either have the aptitude but no means to procure the skills, or remain unemployed despite being skilled. Now, we are aware of the hardships they face just to get a basic education. So aren't we failing as a community if we don't provide them with an adequate tool?
So here is what we offer as a solution. Capable. Capable is designed to provide people with disabilities the complete career development package. It is an Android-based mobile application. It focuses on providing them a platform to connect with employers and NGOs on a user-friendly app which helps improve their skills and connects them with potential employers. It provides them with a community to share their experiences, successes, and failures. The app provides corporates with a medium to build a diverse workforce as talent comes in all shapes and sizes. It also provides NGOs who have suitable training materials and events with a platform to reach out to their target audience.
For all those of you wondering why people will come to us, firstly, Capable has been designed specifically for its target audience, that is, the people with disabilities. For example, our present prototype is dyslexic-friendly, colorblind-friendly, and vision-impaired-friendly. Secondly, Capable's intelligent search portal helps connect its 3 stakeholders with one another, thereby effectively optimizing the chances of getting a correct connect for the right opportunity. And most importantly, as Capable is a mobile application, it has a naturally deep market penetration, even in the lower tier cities of India, where this app will be most effective. This is possible mainly as India is currently the world's 3rd largest smartphone user base.
Out of the many people with disabilities, majority of them have locomotory issues. Because it's a mobile application, it is easily accessible from anywhere. And with our location feature, we help them get jobs at a convenient distance. But people may wonder that if they have locomotory challenges, wouldn't it be difficult for them to go to their job locations? For this reason, we'll be tapping into the work from home market, which is very unstructured in today's world. From the corporate's point of view, we help them get people with the right skill set easily from this specific diverse group of people. Based on the research we have done, the sim labs we have found are run by the NGOs themselves and do not connect to many NGOs or corporates, whereas we are a third-party app which incentivizes to connect all 3 of our target audiences, for in their success lies our success.
Our primary goal from a financial viewpoint is to make our app self-sustainable without being dependent on charitable donations. We have identified a couple of revenue streams to this model. Firstly, our corporate subscription plan, which entitles corporates to a host of value-added services, which include tapping into a wider range of candidates. We will also be acting as an advertorial promotion value, where NGOs and corporates can promote their training modules. As part of branding and promotion, we will be hosting annual award fundraisers where we will felicitate successful personalities who have overcome their difficulties and been successful in their careers. In conclusion, we believe that it's not your disability, but your abilities that define you.
So I'll start. In your research for this app, have you talked to NGOs, and what's the type of feedback that you're getting from them, if you have?
Yeah, we have spoken to an NGO. It is called Enable India, and it is based out of Bangalore, India. Enable India does work in the disability phase. So when we spoke to them, we also learned that while there are applications which exist at the moment, our application being a mobile application is definitely going to hit a lot more our target audience. Secondly, they felt that our accessibility features will definitely help people with disabilities get an easier opportunity to look at jobs which are currently available.
Did you speak with corporations who may want to use this, and what kind of responses did you get from them?
We did do a lot of surveys, and we spoke to both corporates and people with disabilities. And through our social media presence, companies like JP Morgan have expressed their interest in the app and how, it'll help them to get a diverse talent pool.
Have you considered pulling in data from other job sites for your particular app?
Yes, we have. There are certain jobs which are generally interesting for the people with disabilities. We plan to add that as a couple of defaults. But otherwise, it's mostly the jobs that the corporates are willing to post.
Our community and environment influence every aspect of our lives: how we learn, how we communicate, and how we make decisions. We felt alone and excluded in our community on so many occasions. For example, when I was a freshman, I cried almost every night because I felt so alone and unacknowledged. Many of my friends have suffered from depression, and some have had to leave school for it.
We do not want any more of our close friends leaving our school, and we don't want any more people feeling the same way that we have. We know that high schools around the world live in high-stress environments that we students they face the same risks that we do today.
Praise Pop lets you send shout-outs, invites, and compliments to anyone in your community, all on one anonymous feed where everything is traceable. To start, users can sign up with an organization email, and once that is verified, they can see a feed open only to their community.
Write a post or a pop addressing one person, a group of people, or the entire community. There's also a random generator button that can suggest names for you to write about, so you can be inclusive of everyone. The recipient of a post gets notified by a push notification.
So invite everyone to an impromptu Quidditch match on the lawn. Congratulate a classmate on a great speech. On Praise Pop, the little things make a big impact. You have the power to make someone's day.
On the feed, like the kernels of the posts you like. Or you can send specific compliments like, wow, or thanks for being you. Finally, you can also share posts directly from the app through iMessage, mail, Twitter, or Facebook.
So how do we keep Praise Pop positive? We've taken every precaution to keep negativity out of Praise Pop's feeds. Most importantly, verified members of administration or faculty can opt in to view reported posts and their authors in their organization. Even though posts are anonymous, names are still attached to every post and everyone is held accountable.
Our other methods are posts that are reported 3 times are automatically hidden from the post. Users with 2 hidden posts are automatically banned. Users can delete posts about themselves, and negative words and phrases are banned.
So where do we start? Our target market is high schoolers. 73% of the 16 million high schoolers in America use smartphones, which leaves a potential market size of over 12 million people. This market will continue to grow as we expand to other closed communities, such as universities, offices, hospitals, and orphanages.
Praise Pop is unique in the market. While it encompasses many of the positive features of similar services, it adds even more. For example, while Yik Yak filters their feed by location, we filter ours by email domain. That way, within an organization, users can interact more personally and safely.
How can we grow our user base? We've already connected with Massachusetts media and also formed partnerships with local businesses to display our app in their stores.
We are also active on the App Store, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. In under 2 weeks, we've reached over 350 likes on Facebook. We keep variety in our posts with fun music videos and memes that our target market can relate to.
Looking to grow even further, we will designate student Praise Pop representatives at other schools. With their help, we will advertise and host Praise Pop launch parties to get the word out.
With these efforts, we hope to triple school reach every 6 months and reach the following milestones for user growth.
So how will we make money? Praise Pop uses the 2 most effective models for revenue on the market: in-app purchases and advertisements. For 99 cents, users can buy new color schemes and stickers. We will display advertisements from Google AdSense and our local business partnerships on the live feed.
We also calculated an accumulation function to determine the total revenue, combining both apps and in-app purchases as a function of time. Using this, we calculated that we can make $400,000 in 2 years.
Praise Pop is social media that isn't about appearance. It's not about the number of likes. It's not about making your life seem perfect. It's about thanking you for the joy you bring to someone else's day.
Praise Pop has the power to bring communities together and make us happier. Let's work together to cheer up our communities. Thank you, and let's get poppin'!
What was the nastiest bug that you encountered in building this app?
Oh my God. So the nastiest, yes. Okay, so on the feed, every time we refresh, there's a sunglasses view that shows when we refresh. So when we scroll down, there's a sunglasses view that shows at the top of the table view. And every time for about 2 weeks, it would always jump up. So it wouldn't scroll up in a smooth movement, and it wouldn't go up in a smooth movement. It would just jump up, and there would be animation. And that, even though that wasn't an extremely vital part of that, we really felt like it added a playful element. And when it just jumped up, it seemed so trivial, but I struggled with that for 2 weeks, and we eventually found a workaround.
I think another big technical issue we had was when we were trying to update the code to match the new version of Xcode. And that took a really long time because one day I just updated my computer, and the next time I opened Xcode, suddenly there were a million red flags everywhere on the code, and they were just such small, trivial issues, but it took a really long time to resolve all of them.
So you're passionate about trying to solve this problem that you share, right, in common with students, in that you can be bored or lonely or depressed. How will you know you're having an impact? Have you thought through what you might do to measure that?
We already have a group of students using it at Andover School, and we've had great feedback from them. And the first thing we did when we were thinking about our app and Praise Pop was we sent out surveys to the entire community to get the feedback. What would you like to see in the app? What are some features? How do compliments make you feel? And so I think once we get the full Andover community using it, we're definitely going to set up more surveys. We've already talked to the head of school and dean of students, and we're all on board to seeing the effects of it, and it's already had a great impact.
We also have a company website, and the app is on the App Store, so people can send reviews and ratings through those areas too.
And maybe I'll throw out, you could do something with Apple Health Toolkit in measuring people's heart rate or something to see if they're getting this real positive reaction when they get the push notifications from your app. That could be really cool.
Definitely, thank you.
Do you have any ideas for future ideas to keep people excited and in the community and active?
One thing that we definitely want to do is expand to other platforms. So that's what it's on our immediate vision right now, because right now 86% of our school uses iPhones, but there's always that other portion of students who are not using it. And we feel like the app would definitely be more inclusive and, by extension, way more fun if everyone in the community is using it. So that's our immediate goal right now.
And just going off of that, our goal of creating Praise Pop is just to help people. So by expanding to Android and these other markets, we'll reach more people and accomplish our goal more.
Hello, we are Team AMEKA, and today we will be presenting a new solution to an old problem. Impaired driving has plagued generations ever since the invention of the automobile.
It's Friday night. A few hours earlier, your teen left to go hang out with their friends, yet they still haven't returned home. Like the 3/4 of parents in our community who suspect that their teen may have driven impaired, you're worried.
According to the CDC, 1 out of every 10 teens drinks and drives. Though we initially focused on impairment due to alcohol, we realized that our problem extends to other causes of impairment as well. According to an Australian research center, 24 hours without sleep yields an impairment level equal to that of the consumption of 4 beers. As shown through our survey results, there's a troubling difference between the low amount of students who are concerned with, who doubted their driving ability versus the high amount of students who doubted other drivers.
That's where our app comes in. The Safeguard Driving app will evaluate whether or not a user may be either impaired or too tired to drive.
Our app consists of 3 tests that make up a total of 5 tasks. They assess attention, reaction, and balance, which are all essential to driving. Our app is based off a point system. The user needs at least 4 points to pass. Once the user has completed the test, an automatic text message will be sent to their already inputted emergency contact, letting them know their result. If the user should fail, they are giving the option to call their emergency contact or other taxi services such as Uber. And we are currently looking into connecting our app to the car through Ignition Interlock.
Our app will be sold for 99 cents. In our survey, the majority of students and parents have said they would purchase our app. Given those results, we conservatively assumed a 20% uptake our first year and additional 15% uptake each additional year. During each additional year, rising juniors and some seniors will earn licenses, creating a new market. The graph depicts how, as we approach new schools and areas, old targeted regions continue to purchase our app. During our first 3 years, we'll target all the high schools in New England, making around $100,000. During our fourth and fifth years, we want to target 50% of the high schools in the United States, making around $300,000. In 5 years, our accumulated profit will be over $500,000.
We have contacted car insurance companies such as AMEKA and Geico, as well as car companies such as Honda and Volvo, because we know that our app has the potential to become an add-on market feature that they offer. Additionally, we will target each school's parent-teacher organizations and each town's safety committee. For example, the Winchester Coalition for a Safer Community has already contacted us to develop our app for them to use.
Comparable apps in this field are used mainly for entertainment purposes or require the user to purchase additional parts such as a breathalyzer. Our biggest competitors focus solely on intoxication. Not only does our app address this issue, but it targets all impairment of the necessary capabilities for driving. Our app will have a significant impact on people's lives. As a team, we know that the sooner we perfect our app, the sooner we will be able to help the members of our community. Teens in the business world are scarce and usually not taken seriously. But in this case, we believe our age only strengthens our ability to understand our users. We are the demographic our app is targeting. We are motivated, organized, and dedicated to helping save the lives of our peers and ultimately all drivers around the world. Thank you for your time, and I would love to entertain any of your questions.
So my biggest concern with this model is, does a teen at that point actually even think about using the app? And have you done any research around that? And what's the sort of data showing you around that?
So through the survey that we gave to the students, they actually said in the comment section that they would use the app to prove that they were responsible to their parents. It would be a way to sort of prove that they weren't driving impaired. And ultimately, with the ignition interlock feature, they would not be able to start their car without passing the test. So that would be a way to make sure that they are off the roads and protected.
How did you decide which specific tests? I remember the balance test, and then you have some, various color and arrows and things. How did you decide on that specific set of tests?
We actually talked to Dr. Alexandra Geyer. She's a neuroscientist, and she suggested these. We also talked to some of the local police officers who said that these were the 3 aspects they would test a person if they were caught driving impaired, which would be attention, reaction, and balance. So these tests were introduced by us.
So what happens if the test isn't completed in the time? Does it automatically call the emergency number?
We have set times for each part of the test, but for instance, if a user forgets or doesn't do it fast enough, there are 4 points that you have to get to pass. So even if you miss one, you can always follow and keep going with the test, and you will still be able to pass.
I guess what I meant is, what if you bail out and you leave the app before completing the 4 tests?
Okay, so that would it would send a text to the emergency contact. And if the user was not impaired, they would probably get contacted by their emergency contact, and they could explain to them the situation and either figure out a way to get a ride home or figure out a way to, find their situation.
What was the most technical challenge that you faced when building the app?
Probably the balance test. We had to get many different timers going on there and make the ball move with the phone when you tilt it. So we did all that, and that took probably the longest test program. So.
Also, I know that we have a lot of slides and we exceeded the maximum capacity of MIT App Inventor. So right now we only have a prototype.
Nigeria, located on the west coast, is the giant of Africa.
With a large economy and a population of about 180 million inhabitants.
A land of endless opportunities, blessed with rich human and natural resources.
Welcome to Nigeria. Good evening, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I am Sonam Kumar.
Mesoma Obona.
Praise David.
Grace Aquarium.
And together we are
Team Charis.
Do you know about 83% of people living in Nigeria generate both degradable and non-degradable waste? An average person generates about 4 pounds of trash every day and about 1.5 tons of solid waste every year. This waste most times are not properly disposed, littering our streets, our gutters, and their piles, causing a nuisance. Let's listen to a public complaint collected by one of our team members.
How many of you will agree with me that improper waste disposal starts from one person? People's indifference towards proper waste disposal, personal hygiene, and environmental cleanliness contributes to this menace. Business owners and individuals often pay a large amount of money in environmental tax. Yet, environmental bodies hardly come to pick up their waste. When they do, disposal is inefficient and untimely. This has led not only to an unhealthy environment, which serves as a breeding place for disease vectors, but it has also constituted health hazards, making individuals prone to diseases like typhoid, malaria, dysentery, and so on.
To resolve this pressing challenge, we developed a mobile app solution called Discardios. Discardios is an Android-based app that offers upscale business owners and individuals a convenient waste disposal service using affordable mobile cards, which are timely and efficient. It serves as an avenue for people to request our services and also as a feedback mechanism. It would also serve as an employment opportunity for ready card providers to be assigned to customers requiring our services. In the future, we would create a platform for public enlightenment and a forum for discussions on waste management related issues.
The application is set to hit the market with up to $2 per user and a total revenue of $13,920 at the end of the first year from app usage and mobile card services. We also expect to generate revenue from sales of non-degradable waste to recycling companies and also through brokerage fee.
To sustain our business initiative, we plan to work with some environmental agencies such as the Cross River Urban Development Authority, Asibong Ventures Nigeria Limited, Mayors Consult, Technology Incubation Center, Clean All Environment, Nigeria Association of Small-Scale Industrialists.
We've got people talking already. Dabarechi Precious from Lagos, Mrs. Unwachuku from Calabar, and our friends on Facebook and Twitter.
Discardios is the solution to the disturbing waste disposal situation in Nigeria.
Join us to promote a cleaner, greener, and safer environment.
Thank you.
So how did you determine the price that you would charge for the application?
Thank you very much for the question. Actually, in Cross River State, where we are, the Ministry of Health, they charge upscale business owners a very large amount of money for their waste disposal, but still yet they don't come to pick up the waste. So looking at it, we decided to bring it at a very low rate, so they will still be able to pay us after they have finished paying the environmental agencies. So $2, as we thought, is actually very minimal for everyone to afford.
What was technically the most challenging part of building this app?
Well, connecting the app to the Google Maps was really challenging. We tried several times and still yet we're not getting the right thing, but with the help of our app coach and also determination, we're able to do it.
And also our pitch video, it took time for us to actually get a more convenient one. So
I'm sorry I have to ask this question. How long did it take you to get from Nigeria to San Francisco? How many days was it?
We spent over a week in Lagos, Nigeria, from our state, Cross River, and then from Lagos, Nigeria to San Francisco, it was over two days.
We're really glad you're here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I don't know about you, but I think our judges are going to have some really tough decisions to make. Wow, let's give it up one more time for all of our participants. And that's all we have for tonight. Thank you all and have an absolutely wonderful evening.